Welcome back to the Pencil King Show. Today we are speaking with Jan, another one of the. We call you guys the front runners. I don't know if you know that, but behind the scenes, there's Jan and Michael and there's a few other people who have just been absolutely crushing the curriculum and going through things like as fast as we can get things ready for them. They're on top of it. So, welcome to the show, Jan. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And where are we talking to you from? What part of the world are you in?
The beautiful Pacific Northwest.
Awesome.
And to answer your next question, yes, it's raining.
How many days has it been raining for?
um, this is, I don't know. I don't keep track of those things. I just try to find the rainbows, but and not see the rain. So,
And
but sometimes that's hard.
yeah, and I laugh because I've lived in that part of the world for a little bit, and I couldn't take it. I had to move away because the clouds were too low. That was my realization. So
Go to Starbucks. It helps.
so to get started here, the first question that I've been asking everybody is: have you studied art before? What did your art study look like before you came upon the Evolve program?
Really nothing. A few years ago, after retiring, I started doing some acrylic painting just for fun, and did the YouTube videos and a couple of tutorials and stuff, but no formal training at all. And I just really enjoyed it. I was having a lot of fun doing it, but I didn't get the results that I wanted. I wanted to be better, so that led me here eventually. So
So
yeah, but as a child, I didn't have any formal training. The only thing I can equate it to is uh, in first grade, my sister and I went to this like after school thing, at the community center. It was probably for 6 weeks or something, one day a week, but it was an after school art program. And I always remember just sitting there, was drawing a picture of a cat, a cat's face. And I just had this feeling, I still remember to this day, of just being like, I love this. This is just heaven. I never want to leave this place. I want to do this forever. Of course, the course ended after a few weeks, and being 6 years old, I didn't go to my mother and say, I really need art education or anything. So,
uh
life goes on, and that was it. But that's what I equate to when I started, after retiring, just kind of fiddling around with acrylics. It's like, oh, that feeling again, it just is so fun, and it's kind of like a bliss feeling, and so it's kind of full circle there.
wow, that's so cool. I had no idea. So from 6 years old to retirement, there's nothing, no craft classes or anything, or like quilting, like, and
Well,
go
I
ahead.
was always a crafty kid, I mean, I did like to do things with clay, but all on my own. My mother would always say, she could leave me alone for hours, and I'd, never make a peep, and I was just, busy in my own world, which is pretty much true to this day. But yeah, I no classes, but we actually had a sewing business at one time, so I've done things like that, like sewing and stuff, and been interested in that kind of thing, but no formal art or craft education of any kind, just doing it as, for fun and entertainment. So,
Wow. Okay, so your progress is even more spectacular. I had no idea, and I never know what people's backgrounds are, but okay, so this is really fascinating. And so before you're going, like, how did you even hear about Evolve then? Like you said, you're doing acrylics and you were just studying on you. So
right.
actually, before we answer that, so you knew you wanted to do some painting. You're newly retired, and so you just bought some acrylic paints and hopped onto YouTube. Was that
Basically, yeah, and even
okay?
that is, my husband and I were at a garage sale. This is how this started, and there was a canvas there and some cheap paints, and I was just like, oh, hey, maybe I'll paint a painting. That's how it started, So I really enjoyed that. The canvas was like 25 cents, and I made that, and I'm like, oh, I'll go get some acrylic paints and watch a few YouTube videos, and kind of got a little more. I bought a couple of tutorials from a couple of art sites, and painted along with it. That's as far as it went, but I was getting a little bit of results. I mean, I was happy, to do something, and but I just thought, I love this so much. What would it be like if I actually turn something out that people wanted, like how would that feel? Like, as a gift or anything, or even that I could step back and go, wow, that's nice. And instead of, oh, well, better luck next time kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and so, yeah, how I came to evolve is through one of those, through an email or something, I got the art bundle for good.
Okay.
And one of the things in there was Pencil Kings.
Oh.
And so it brought me to Pencil Kings. And then I saw you talking about this. And I was just like, wow, that sounds like everybody, it sounds fantastic, but it's too good to be true. This can't be real. And especially the part about, if you have no experience, go from this to this in 2 years and yeah, okay, right. Um, it's like one of those infomercials,
Exactly.
20
I felt
pounds overnight
I felt
or
the
something.
same way. When Kevin was showing me this stuff, I was like, "Come on, I've been
Yeah.
looking for this. I like this," and I think that's why I just keep saying like I was looking for the answer, and this was the answer. That it's not the end of art education for anyone, but it's the beginning. It's like I just see how it can take us to a place where we can do whatever we want, and that's what's so exciting about it.
Right. And you really don't know until you join up and do it what it is, because still I thought, well, I'm going to be like the worst student in this class, hopefully I can keep up with these young whippersnappers, and here I am actually, I mean, everybody's going to get here, but I'm pretty far ahead in the program for right now. And that's kind of like, what is happening, what world am I in kind of thing. So it's really exciting. And again, I was getting the emails and I was like talking myself out of it thinking, well, it costs money and, what am I going to do with it? Or it's not going to go anywhere. I'll just, fiddle around with my acrylic paints and, just keep having fun. And it really intrigued me. And so I talked to my husband about it, I just said, I've seen these emails. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, I don't know, it's kind of silly, isn't it? And he encouraged me to do it, he said, I think you should do it. And that was great advice. He has some every once in a while, but, I don't like to tell him that. I don't like to let it go to his head. But so I'm glad he encouraged me, and I'm really glad. I'm very happy. So.
And what does he say now? Because I imagine in the beginning, no one, I don't even think I knew. I had an idea, and I think the amazing thing is that it's exceeding what either Kevin or I thought was possible. Like what you're doing, what Michael's doing, what a lot of people are doing is exceeding anyone's expectations. So it's like it's even better than than the best case scenario. But what is your husband, your family, when they come? I can see the paintings behind you in your room. So
Mm-hmm.
what are they saying now when they see this?
Oh, well, they're very supportive. They're my family, and they want the best for me. And I'm surprised when I've heard some other people say their family maybe isn't supportive. I just, but you take it with a grain of salt. It's like that joke, you ask your husband, does this dress make me look fat? Well, there's only one answer to that question, and it isn't yes, so, but are you getting the truth? So with your family, they're gonna say nice things, but, you kind of wonder, well, you're just being nice, you don't want to say mean things to me, right? So, but I get, from the Facebook study group, when I post something, and the people are just so nice and so kind and generous, and they have all these things they say, and I think, well, of course they're just encouraging me too, but then again, they don't really have to say anything if they don't like it, so I'm just shocked. I'm like, are you looking at the same thing I am? Because you really don't see it in your own work. I don't think you don't see. I don't know. I just move from one assignment to the next and don't really think about it too much. Just work on the next thing, but sometimes I go back and see one that, in fact, I have my shell here that I did,
Mm-hmm.
and that got kind of rave reviews, and I was like, what, But I brought it out later to show my son, and then I was like, oh yeah, I guess that's kind of good, I kind of like it, but
Do you have
when
it
you're
handy?
working
Like,
on
can
it,
you hold it
I
up?
do.
Can
I do.
can you show us what kind of good looks like?
Okay.
Oh wow, and you
Can you
framed
can
it
you
too.
see it?
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, shout out to Michael Ray. He suggested I frame it, so thanks, Michael.
Oh, that looks phenomenal. Congratulations.
Thank you. But like I say, I just, you're in the moment working on the assignments, and you don't really, you don't really, I don't think about it too much. But then like that, I just think, who did that? It wasn't me. I always think of that story. I just like that story that the shoemaker's elves, the elves come in the shoemaker's shop at night and make the shoes for him because he's way behind and he needs to pay the rent or whatever. And he wakes up in the morning and there's new shoes that he can sell and make money. And he didn't do it, the elves did, so, oops. So,
But
so I'm,
are you getting into like a different state of mind when you're doing this, that you don't feel like it's you doing it, or is it just that you haven't yet realized that you possess these skills, like they're yours now, and you can?
oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I am in another world when I'm doing art, I guess. And I think that's that thing going back way, way, way back when I was 6 years old, to that bliss feeling. So I'm just, I know later you're probably going to ask me about what I listen to. So I'll save you the trouble. I don't listen to anything. I'm just in my world, listening to my thoughts. Although when I painted Gary here, Gary, I don't want my earbuds to fall out again, but Gary,
Yeah.
I talked to him a lot.
Really?
Because this is the first time I've really done a portrait, and I mainly in the beginning it's like, Gary, please show up, please look like Gary. Don't look like Bob or Jim or anybody else, but please be Gary. And, I think he does look like Gary at least
Yeah.
somewhat. So,
And that's
yeah,
your first?
yeah.
Yeah.
First time I ever painted a person.
And how long ago did you pick up oil paint? Like how many months ago do you think it was where you were doing your first oil paintings? Like, because I'm at the beginning stage. I'm in what we call block 2 here. And so this is, I think, the 8th or the 7th one in block 2. But how long ago were you in block 2?
Um, Boy, I can't remember, but I think most of the blocks since block 1 have been taking me 2 months. So I'm
Okay.
pretty much done with block 4. So, I guess that would be 6 months ago, right? Two, four,
Yeah, something
six.
like that.
Yeah, when I first started oil paints. Yeah, so in 6 months, got to that.
Which still, like, this is the thing that I think blows our mind, is that Kevin wasn't sure if this could be taught without him being in the room. And
Yeah,
so now starting to see the student results coming, and they're just going to be more and more people who are getting to where you are.
right.
It's amazing, and it's really like I feel like this is just the start of the journey, that the sort of like the wildness of the students choosing their own subject matter, because it goes on and off between students doing evolve official assignments and then doing their own assignments, and you're just at the cusp where you start doing your own, I think mostly your own assignments. And so that's where I'm really excited to see, once the students get to take control of the curriculum and they have this ability to do whatever they want, what's going to happen. Do you have
Yeah.
something in mind for what you want to paint or what you're excited to do?
You mean after I'm done with the program, or because I don't even know what's coming next, really. I just wait for them to send me the box of stuff, and I really don't know what I'm doing next. But I don't know. I think I'm just, like this is my first portrait, and painting different things, and then seeing, well, what do I like to paint, or I'm pretty sure it's not going to be some of the things that a lot of the people are. The younger people are into the dragons and the fantasy stuff and the video game type of art. That's obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, but, I'm more old school than that. So it's probably going to be puppies or something,
Yeah.
something cute, probably, knowing me, so, but who knows? Sky's the limit, I guess.
Yeah,
And that's the thing. Sorry, that's the thing, is that just, once you start seeing some results, you kind of like, well, what could I do with this? Maybe it could be a little bit more than a hobby. It's easy to say, well, I just want it to be a hobby, because then you don't have to. Nobody has any expectations. You could be really bad and do it as a hobby, But if you're serious and want to maybe do a little more, then yeah.
Let me grab my questions here. So just to, like, I like to ask this question so the students can kind of get to know each other a little bit more. But when you're not making art, how are you spending your time?
Well, in the nice weather, which wouldn't be now, we have a huge garden, so I'm a big gardener, do that. And we live in a beautiful rural area, so my husband and I do a lot of hiking and kayaking. indoor activities. I love board games and puzzles and trivia and stuff like that. So reading, you know.
Nice. Oh,
That's about
it
it.
seems like with the hiking and stuff, there's probably a lot of inspiring scenery around you,
Right.
like potential future things to paint or to at least
Yeah,
consider.
I'm into nature, so I would think that would be a big thing. I would be painting flowers and trees and plants and things like that. So yeah, I love that stuff.
And you've alluded to it a little bit here, but what is your strategy for getting things done? And this is one of the most important questions that I've been trying to uncover how people are successful with this program so that we can share that knowledge. Because, it's no joke how fast you move through things. It feels like we're always scrambling to make sure that there's the thing ahead for you to do. So, how are you able to do that?
Well, I have to say, it's easy for me to say I want it, I'm not working full time and raising a family. So I understand the people that, obviously they're going to say, yeah, she's retired. She can do whatever, as much as she wants. And that's true. But I do other things and have a life as well. But I'm a morning person. So I get up really early, a couple hours before my husband. And that's when I get to work. Or, well, I don't like to call it work because it's not work to me. But, when they say, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, and that's definitely true for me because I'm waiting for the work to start on this because I just love doing it. So
Really? Okay.
yeah, so a couple hours in the morning before my husband gets up, and then we have breakfast together and do whatever we're doing for the day or run errands or whatever. Then I usually get back to it in the early afternoon and work on it for a few hours or however long I want to. Maybe sometimes up till when I start making dinner. It just depends on if I'm on a roll or what I feel like doing. And that's it for the day. Usually after dinner, I start fizzling out. So I don't usually do a lot. I'm not an evening, I'm not a night person. So,
Uh-huh.
but if I'm working on something kind of intensive like Gary, where I can't spend hours because there's just a lot of fine detail, then I would, maybe do an hour in the evening after dinner and do a little bit more and kind of get set up for the morning when I start again. So, yeah.
Now, did you ever go through any periods where you weren't working on it? And the reason I ask is that I found that for myself, when I can have momentum with just being consistent, all of a sudden I start having these aha moments and things start to click a lot faster. And when I kind of I've had these stop-start moments, it's just hard to get on a roll. Have you had any breaks, or you've just been as much as you can trying to stay
Um,
consistent, or just being consistent?
it would be hard to make me take a break because, like I said, I love it. So, but
Okay.
I get tired. I mean, I'm taking a day or two off now between, if I do block four is pretty intensive as far as how much work the paintings are. So I've been taking a day or two off between each painting to rest up and not go crazy. Because it's just the intense concentration that is a little bit much. But other than that, no. And I think that's probably, um, if anybody's having trouble, keeping going, is just that momentum, like you say, just start somewhere. If you're really serious about being good at art, you have to do art. If that's your dream, do it. If you don't, then it'll always be just a dream. It won't happen. So, um, get up a little earlier. And, that's everybody can do that or stay up later if you're a night person and just do a little bit and, just do one thing, set up your still life or take a picture or whatever. And then, hopefully the momentum will be like, okay, tomorrow, all I'm going to do is just start drawing this or whatever it is you're at, whatever point you're at, just do a little bit and just keep going. And, you'll get there. It's not a race. I mean, I'm far ahead, but everybody will get here. So it's not, you don't have to go fast. You just have to go. You have to start and you have to keep going. You're serious, I guess you have to ask yourself why did you sign up for it? What was your goal in doing that? And what are your priorities in life? Uh, I think you have to, make a list. I have like 5 things that is like, okay, this is the important stuff in life, and then everything else has to fall in place. uh, I'm not going to tell you all of them, but I'll tell you up to the art one. My health is number one because what can I do if I don't have my health, right?
Yeah.
You should take care of yourself first. My family is second. I think that's pretty, normal for most people. I mean, it's my family. They come first. And then is art. So, if I wake up in the morning and I scroll social media, wasting time with that, where does that fall in my 3 or my 5 important things? It's not on there. So why am I doing that? If art is okay, if I get up and I jump out of bed and run over to the easel, which is basically what I've done, and I haven't broken my hip yet, so that's good. Then I'm doing one of my things on my list, and then say to yourself, okay, when I've done whatever it is for you, 15 minutes of art or whatever, okay, then I'll look at social media if that's what I like, or then I'm going to eat a chocolate or something, whatever it is that's your reward, but do your important things first, and then everything else will fall into place. I think, most of the efficiency books and things like that will tell you that. It's like if you're dreading that phone call, or you've got that meeting, or you've got something you've got to do you just don't want to do it first, because you'll keep putting it off. Just get it out of the way, and then you're going to feel so good about yourself. You're just going to be like, well, I did that. I feel so great. Now I've got the rest of the day, or, to do. I do my 2 hours in the morning. If we are doing something, or I don't get back to art, at least I don't, be like, oh, I wish I was doing it. Well, I kind of think that. But anyway, at least I've done some. So I'm already good for the day if I don't do any more. I like to just continue to keep that ball rolling.
Yeah, and I just want to echo what you said, because I found that last year was the first year where I really prioritized my routine, and I felt that it was boring to work on Evolve and then every day go to the gym and eat like chicken and vegetables to like take care of my health and trim down a little bit and work on my painting or my drawing. And that was like these 4 things. And that was it. And it felt really boring to just commit to those things. But the results that came in those 4 things were incredible, like more than anything else before. And it's just, I feel like my old way of thinking was that I would be missing out on things. Like I needed to be checking Facebook because I'm missing out on something, or there's something to do, or, oh, look, this person's giving a talk. Maybe I should go there. And now I'm just like cutting out all of that stuff. And it seems boring, but really if this is what you want to do, because I feel like so many people write into me or to Pencil Kings, or I hear their stories wherever I read them online, that they want to be an artist and they'll give anything to be an artist. It's like, well, then give anything to be an artist. Give an hour a day, start. And
yeah, talk is cheap, isn't it? I mean, that's so easy to say I want to do this or that, but you really have to, do it. And there's no way around it. No one else is going to make you an artist. I mean, other than Evolve, but you know what I'm saying. You have to put I'm not going to say work again. I'm going to say time, effort, whatever it is, into it. And yeah, but sure, life can be boring. I mean, I'm probably the queen of boring, but wow, I've got a title, Queen of Boring, great. But you really do have to, do what you want to do in life. And, there's no way around that. I think it's kind of funny that people say they have no time, but like, we just had Christmas, right? And, maybe not everybody celebrates Christmas, but you have some kind of celebration that you do. And it's like, you found the time to buy gifts, wrap gifts, decorate the tree, go see the Nutcracker, whatever you do, have a party, all your Christmas things, bake cookies. And you didn't have any more time than you did in November, or but you got it done. So like, why? Because Christmas is important to you, I guess, or whatever your holiday is important to you. Mm-hmm. So why isn't your art that important? If you stayed up late wrapping gifts, why don't you stay up late doing some art?
Yeah,
I don't know. You just really have to look at it that way and ask yourself some questions, I think, about what you want to get out of life. And I kind of have a sense of urgency about it, 'cause time's a wasting kind of thing, but I just want to be able to have some time to do this while I can, and enjoy it. And I'm doing that, and if I never did any more than this, then I'd be pretty happy with that. So
well, that's good to hear. So what would you tell a new evolver to inspire them? I feel like just your story is really inspiring right off the bat, because just knowing that you wanted to do this and coming back to it after many years of having no formal training or anything like that, and then just putting in the time and being in such a, I feel like you said before, like a bliss state, that you're just enjoying it and doing what you enjoy. So it feels quite natural. But for someone who's just started yesterday, what words of advice would you give to them?
Well, I just jump in with both feet, don't worry that you won't understand it, or that you're slower than, everybody thinks these things like, oh, other people can do it, but I can't. I think that's pretty common. It's like, well, I'm the one, I'm the one that's just not going to get this or understand. And the support is so great. I see it, on the Facebook study group. There's certain people that are worried about stumbling, or they just, oh, I can't get this, and people just surround them, and with support. And Kevin, Piper, you, anybody, Daniel, everybody's there. Just they'll tell you, reach out to us, or they'll reach out to them and help them with whatever they have, and get them through. And it doesn't matter how much time or effort it takes. It seems like they'll work with them until they get over that hurdle. And so you don't have to worry about, you're not going to be able to do this. You will. And again, it's just try, put in the effort, and you'll keep moving forward, and you'll just be amazed at anybody can do it. I mean, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Just, you don't have to have any prior skills. So, why would you not do that? I mean, it's well worth what you're paying for many times over. So, just go for it. That's what I say. Go for it. Don't worry. Don't look back. Just keep moving forward, and you'll be surprised, where you are. I mean, I never thought I'd be doing this. I never thought I'd be on this phone call with you, and that I'd have this artwork, and this is just kind of the beginning. I mean, I'll get better, I'm going to keep, I'm not going to say working, but moving forward with it. And you'll just enjoy it. I don't know why anybody wouldn't enjoy that, to see how far you can go. I mean, that's the fun part of it.
Yeah. And I think the thing that I feel is like how much, I'm sure there's a lot of other people who feel the same, was how much I look up to you as the example. And Michael, and you might feel like, just me, but it's true that there are students in the program, just like me, who are busy or not, like whatever your schedule is, but you're finding the time to continue to move forward. And it's not always like a smooth ride, but you just keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep moving ahead. And now, like, yeah, you're an inspiration to me, that I want to be like Jan. And, I think that's so cool to be in a program where the students are inspiring the people who are helping to create it or helping to facilitate it. And I look forward to just getting to being where you are, and then by then you'll be even further ahead, and you're continuing to inspire even more people. And I'm sure that through this video that your story will touch a lot of people, and a lot of people will be inspired by it, which is, I think, one of the things that we all secretly want as artists, is to create work that connects and inspires people, and that we're doing that, just by being in our little private group and posting your work or giving someone encouragement or something. It's all connecting and inspiring. And even though it's just the beginning, it's a really exciting thing to be part of. So I really thank you for being one of the front runners and sharing your story and sharing your work with all of us. Because I know that you didn't actually. Maybe let's ask this last question, because I'm curious. If I feel like we've had to twist your arm a little bit to share some of your work in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And why do you think that was?
Oh, still to this day. I mean, Kevin kind of, I wouldn't say, he forced me, but he told me on a call one time, okay, I want you to post everything from block 4. And I was like, oh, great. At first I just totally didn't want to, because I felt like, it's like, look at me. I'm just not that, look at me, look what I can do, blah, blah. I just didn't want to be a show off, or be interpreted as being a show off and saying, oh, look at this. But the way, he said, basically, because I am further ahead, is to inspire other people. So when I thought about it that way, and I was hoping that's what it would do. And I still hope, and I'm concerned that I'm inspiring people, and not that they take it like, I can do this and you can't, because they will be able to do it. It's just I'm further ahead. That's the only difference. Because there was a comment one time of a similar artwork. Someone said that, until I thought this was good until I saw Jan's, and I really felt bad, because I don't want people to feel that way, and the work was beautiful. It was lovely, so, that's just, don't think that, that's not what I don't want people, to feel bad because I post something. So that's my hesitation, I guess, and I'm not saying they're fantastic, but people interpret things the way they want to. So
Yeah.
That was my hesitation, and still to this day. And it's even like being, this is not my thing, being here I am kind of thing. But hopefully it will just inspire somebody to sign up or, understand the program better. I'm just a student in the program. I'm just plugging away, and I'm just having fun doing it. So that's the story there.
Yeah, and I think just to speak to that what we've started telling now is the only person you can really compare to is yourself yesterday. And so as long as you're doing what we said and putting in that 15 minutes or that hour or 2 hours, whatever it is, to get a little bit better today than you were yesterday, that's all you have to do. And that's the only person who you can really compare to. And the rest of the time is just being inspired, which, by the way, I see the cherub with the grapes at the top right, and those grapes, I don't know how you did it, but they look spectacular. And
Thank you.
Many people have commented because they see on Instagram, I believe it's on Instagram, where there's some things are posted, and they've seen the grapes. And
are they on there? I didn't even know that.
Okay, so maybe it's not Instagram. Maybe it's just like someone that I showed look at what the students are doing, and on my phone while I was scrolling through it, and they're just like, wait, scroll back. What happened with those grapes there? Oh my gosh! And yeah.
Well, and again, it's just the technique, because you don't even realize. I didn't think they were. I was just doing the painting. I didn't know they were anything special, or I don't know.
Well, thank you so much.
But it's nice.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Jen, for sharing your story. And any last words before we sign off here?
I can't think of any other than just it's a great program. It's wonderful to be kind of looking ahead at what the future holds still, I could just be laying back in a hammock eating bonbons or something, but I've got a whole new adventure to keep striving for. So it's just great, and I just thank everybody involved for it. And sign up, people. That's great. And thank you, Mitch, for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much. For more episodes, head over to pencilkings.com/show. Thanks for tuning in. If this is your first time listening, we've got a ton of courses over at Pencil Kings where we work to help artists improve their skills in a very supportive community. And if you'd like to know more information about the program that Jan and I were talking about and that we're both students in, you can head over to evolveartist.com, where the whole program is designed to give you everything that you need, including the supplies, to go from literally nothing, as long as you can sign your name, you're good to go, to having professional level art skills in a year or less. So see you there, and I'll see you on the next episode, where we're going to have a professional animator who's also in the Evolve program to get her take on how her journey has been. See you soon. Bye.